Hi everybody. I probably should be doing this video outside and I should be running while I do it, but I know that I would not be able to talk and run at the same time. So instead I am here on my exercise bike in the basement, and I thought I'll just try to do some movement while I am talking to you today. So yeah, let's see. It feels like this is going to be a little jumbled up. So I'm going to start with the thought about how exercise helps our mental health first. Movement, it can be a natural antidepressant. For some, regular physical exercise can be just as effective as antidepressant medication at treating mild to moderate depression. So that's something to keep in mind. It can be something that really helps. I know that when I went through the really hard time of depression in 2014, I had gotten to the point where just going for a walk was not going to help. I really needed some other medications to get me back to a more stable place. But once I was feeling better, I talked to my doctor and weaned off that antidepressant and haven't been on anything for quite a few years now, but I know that I can really start to feel, changes in my mental health if I'm not getting regular exercise and movement into my routine. So, okay, what I wanted to talk to you about too is sometimes with movement we have to move fast, and that happened this morning. We have a friend at church, and he and his wife have some wood duck boxes in their yard. And so we had said we wanted to see them jump out of the nest at some point. And so he called us and said, "Hey, I can tell the mother duck is getting all, antsy and acting like she might take off soon." And there were, I think, 9 eggs in the nest, and so they had all hatched. And so he said that he thought maybe she would be leaving the nest pretty soon, and then those ducklings would be jumping out of the box down to the ground, like, 8-9 feet from the ground. And so I was dressed for exercising, and so I took a couple minutes to change into jeans and a different t-shirt and get my tennis shoes on and all that. And so then Gary and I drove down there and parked in the alley, and we could see where the wood duck boxes were. And we're like, oh, I wonder when it'll happen. And then I looked at it and I thought, oh, I think I see a duck on the ground. And I said, yeah, we kind of looked. Yep, there's a duck on the ground. And then I said, I think maybe there's a little blob in front of her, so maybe the ducklings are there. And about that time, our friend called and said, "Oh, she's out of the nest. They're all out." And so we probably missed it by like 5 minutes or so. And so we should have moved fast. Should have hightailed it down there right after we got the phone call. But I did walk over. I was going to walk over and sit in their gazebo and see if I could see them leave the yard later. But when I got a little bit closer, the mama duck jumped up and all these little ducklings were following behind her. So I got a little video of that as they were walking across the yard. And so I will try to put that in the comments section after this. Boy, I'm getting out of breath. So I'll try to do that. But that just shows that sometimes slow movement is good. Taking things at a slow pace is fine, but sometimes we really have to move when time is of the essence. When we have a chance to see something amazing, like if someone says, "Hey, there's a beautiful sunset tonight," we don't sit around for a half hour. We have to go outside and enjoy that sunset right away when they call our attention to it. Or if there's a rainbow, you go outside, you look at the rainbow because you know that it's going to be gone in a matter of minutes sometimes. And so, yeah, think about that when you're thinking about movement too. And then I picked some verses that talk about being in a race. It's not exactly the same as just moving fast to not miss something, but I don't know. I couldn't find a good verse for that. Let's see. This is 1 Corinthians. I didn't write down where it was from. 1 Corinthians something, 24 and 25. I'll have to put it in the comments too. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. So, of course, this is making a metaphor from our spiritual lives and comparing it to being in a physical race. And so we need to train ourselves spiritually, just like a runner would train themselves physically to be in a race. At the beginning of the summer, sometime this winter, I think, I was toying with the idea of being in a triathlon this summer, but I didn't ever make work of that. I like to swim, but I knew I had to do more running, and so I would try to run a little tiny bit on the track at SDSU in the Wellness Center, and then another friend that was gonna do it, she hurt her knees, and so she wasn't gonna do it, so I just kind of let that go. I'm not gonna be in a triathlon, but it still is on my bucket list. Maybe I will try to train in the future for it, but for now, I'm just making sure that I'm getting in lots of movement and trying to exercise my body as much as I can. So I think that is about it for my thoughts today. Thank you for watching, and I will come back tomorrow, hopefully a little earlier in the day. Today was a busy day and I didn't have really time to get to it till now. So I'll try to come back earlier tomorrow and share some more thoughts about movement. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.